The ASEAN conference has been handled beautifully by the president and the Philippines and your representatives. And I enjoy being here. The weather is always good. Today it's pretty good. But one thing about the Philippines, eventually it gets good no matter what.
Etiquette dictates that weather is always a polite conversation topic. And President Trump seems to be following that guideline, at least one guideline, when meeting with the president of the Philippines, a leader whose controversial war on drugs has left thousands of people dead. The White House says the president discussed human rights abuses briefly. The Philippine government, of course, says that topic did not come up at all. Why is that even a question? Let's get back to it. The panel is here. What does it mean, my friend Josh, that the White House says that the president brought up human rights in the discussion briefly, and Duterte's people say it never was brought up at all?
Well, practically it doesn't mean anything because the Trump administration has been clear from day one that it's downgrading the priority of human rights and democracy promotion around the world. That's what Rex Tillerson has said clearly. It's what Donald Trump says clearly. It was in his inauguration speech.
Seems aggressive if they put it the way you just put it, but keep going, my friend.
Well, I mean, I'm not even really... Paraphrasing. They don't believe that we should interfere in other countries' sovereignty, which is a very Chinese kind of style foreign policy, and it has angered, lawmakers both in the Republican and Democratic Party, and left human rights groups, civil rights groups, civil liberty groups around the world, not to mention these populations who are under the thumb of dictators, tyrants, and oppressors in a horrible position. And that's the reality. So whether he mentioned it or he didn't mention it, it doesn't matter. People know what he thinks about this stuff. The effect in the State Department, in the USAID, all over the world where U.S. government is represented, is palpable. Everybody understands it. So I don't care if he mentioned it or he didn't mention it. The U.S. has pulled back on democracy, human rights, and freedom promotion. And that's a very sad thing, not just for the United States' reputation around the world, but also for all of those people who are...
Okay, yeah. I'm just going to call baloney on that. It's just not true. I mean, we're not interested in building out democracies in other countries that may not want it right now, but in terms of human rights, we stepped back into the breach after Barack Obama's so-called realpolitik, which enhanced countries like North Korea and especially Iran, who have miserable records. Let's face it, we don't get to choose who runs most countries. We don't get to choose who runs the Philippines. But the truth is that the Philippines is a desperately vital ally for us in the South China Sea. And the Philippines actually brought with us a CNN headline from a year ago. Philippines president says he'll break up with the U.S. and tells Obama to go to hell. Remember that? Yeah. That was Duterte a year ago because of the way he was treated by our country, by President Obama. The fact is, we need him. Now, right now, we have real issues around the world. We need a relationship with Russia. We need a relationship with China. We need to solve problems.
It sounds wonderful.
And the fact that the fact the issue is brought up, but it's not the entirety of the issue, is really what's being said here.
I have spent my entire adult life trying to give people around the world a chance to decide what kind of government they want to have. My entire adult life, in places like Africa, in Indonesia, in Kiev, you name it, I've been there doing that. And I absolutely agree that this administration has made it clear that that ain't none of our business no more.
I agree with that. That's not the same as human rights.
You give Donald Trump a funny shirt and a military parade, and he's your guy.
Yeah.
Right.
But here's
there's a false choice going on here.
Fold this actually all folds together, because then when it comes to Russia, it's kind of the same. It gets to the same point where I think you can say both. You can say you meddled in our election, and also we need to somehow work together to try to solve what's going on in Syria. Why can't we do both?
It shows utter weakness on the part of the President of the United States that he equivocates on the notion of a Russian leader interfering in a U.S. election, and then equivocates on whether he called out the Philippines president on whether he's murdering people and there's violations of human rights going on. It's weak. It is the antithesis of American exceptionalism.
Right. Barack Obama went out to the world and said, we're at fault, it's our fault, we're going to apologize.
Of American exceptionalism, which has been rooted in the Democratic and Republican parties
precisely the opposite.
for 2 centuries.
Barack Obama went out to the world and said, it's our fault, we're the bad guys.
Our president looks weak.
With strength, and they're responding to it. He's victorious around the world. Look at all the allies who were chased away by Obama who are coming back on board.
We have no allies left.
Israel, Saudi Arabia,
the Germans, the French,
Philippines.
Okay,
they're coming back because of Obama.
It's not a choice between our values and our interests. Our values are our interests.
Yes.
And when we promote American values, we build societies that are better markets, better friends, more stable countries.
And here's one thing we've established
That's what Donald Trump is doing.
We're going to leave the Russia discussion for tomorrow. This was actually fascinating, guys. Thank you.